Good morning, everyone. Oh, pardon me. Welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be here with you today. My name is Eva Medilek, and I am a certified high performance coach and inclusive leadership coach. What was I going to say? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I sometimes lose my train of thought. But what I do want to share with you is that my intention in my coaching business and practices in my life is to help you as busy people learn how to have it all without doing it all. Learn how to reach higher levels of success without it causing you burnout, frustration, and exhaustion that impacts your health, your well being, and your relationships. So, today I want to talk to you about my radio show, What's Important Now, that airs on the Voice America's Influencer channel. And you can access that at evamedilek.com/win, WIN. Yesterday, my guest, and this show actually happens live, but you can catch the replay as a podcast. But yesterday, my guest was Janine Hamner Holman, and we got into some really powerful, deep conversations about um, the first steps in creating safe and inclusive spaces. Now, Janine's work for the past 30 years has been to in the DE&I space in businesses and actually healing from the toxic masculine culture that prevails in most businesses. It's really how most businesses were built. And now that we have a new generation coming in to take over from us boomers, if you will, that white male toxicity, patriarchal toxicity, gets to be moved out. It gets to change. And workers, the reason for the great resignation, if you will, is that people are fed up with the toxic workplace environments and cultures, and they're speaking up about it, and they're creating their own safe, inclusive spaces. But there was one thing Janine and I talked about that I had heard her mention before as a white woman, is that the first steps to creating safe, inclusive environments in workplace culture and in our own lives and culture, it has to start not with inclusion, but with separation. And here's what she meant by that. You are going to find, and I believe it's true in my struggles of getting white people to the table with their fear and their shame and their blame and their guilt that they are feeling over the history of whiteness and what whiteness means and how they benefited from whiteness in their lives, is to have a container where white people can do the deep and personal work with other white people, because studies have shown that they will be more open, more vulnerable, more willing to go there than if they're in a container with the very people they've historically oppressed. Now, I say historically because I'm not saying you personally oppressed everybody. So don't hear that when I say that. My point in sharing that with you is that it first starts with the deep personal work. And it's hard to do that when you're in the same container of people who have a different experience of whiteness than yours, or people, when people of color come together and do their healing work together and learn how to advocate and use their voices to fight stronger and harder and longer for diversity and inclusion. There's a shared experience in the containers that creates more openness, more vulnerability, more transparency that you wouldn't normally have if you were doing this work in a inclusive group. So the point she was making is that you got to do that work in your own container first before you put it all in the same bucket and do it inclusively. Because then you would have done the deep work. You would have dealt with your shame, blame, guilt, your trauma, your hurt, whatever it is you're dealing with in a place that allows you to open up freely and fully so that you can bring the best of you into the inclusive container and environment. So I put the link in the chat where you can access the full interview because I think it's a powerful one and I think we all should listen to it and hear it. And, if you want Janine to be in your organization to help your organization do this work, then that's awesome. And you can reach out to her. But this is a different way of thinking about this work that pretty much lands with me because you know what? For me as a Black person, white people have historically not made me feel safe. And therefore, I am less prone to open up and be vulnerable and expose myself and my pain and my trauma and my experiences in a container where I don't feel safe than I would in a container that I do feel safe. And that would allow me a better chance to heal and deal and feel. And the same goes true for white folks. How open and honest are they going to be? Are they going to be in their privilege and in their superiority and in their right and righteousness and tell us what we should be doing, or in their shame and guilt and clam up and not share at all? This is powerful, powerful to hear. And I invite you to be open to what Janine has to say around this. So go to evamedilek.com/win to hear the entire episode, or just click the link below that is in the comments. All right, that's it for me today. Thanks for joining, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.